Hello everybody, how the devil are you? This is Cirque for Sanitarium.FM, and today our focus is on Steampunk Tower 2. Now, I know what you're thinking, Steampunk Tower 2 must be the sequel to Steampunk Tower. Yeah, it is. The team over at Dreamgate, the developers and publishers of both titles, have opted for the sequentially numbered follow-up as opposed to just starting with the number 2. Before I start though, one thing I found somewhat shocking with this game, other than the Tesla cannon, which I'll circle back to later, is that Dreamgate are a 3-person team. This project credits 2 additional artists and a musician, along with some translators and testers, but the bulk of the game is a passion project from just 3 people, whose names I will not attempt to say, but I'll stick them up on screen with a moment of silence to honour them. Now that that's done, let's dig in to what this game is all about. Setting and plot. The game is set in an alternate history where steam power has been weaponized and improved via a power source called Ethereum. The rise of this power has brought together a shadowy cult that utilized dark Ethereum to power their steam-powered army in an effort to conquer Europe, and likely the rest of the world shortly after. Now, as we all know, cults are inherently bad and must be stopped. This is where you come in. The game places you in control of an unnamed commander brought in by Lord Bingham to aid in the war effort, placing you in charge of the Allies' newest and most powerful weapon, the Tower. You begin at your secret base in Spain, but will gain access to various real-life locales such as France, Portugal, and even Great Britain herself, the originators of Ethereum steam power in this universe. Jules Verne would be proud. You will also increase your team of characters, adding the lovely Natalie and the tomboy genius mechanic Abigail very early on, going on to augment your team further with a small cast of characters over the adventure, which you can use to send out on missions to gather Ethereum and to help progress the plot. Gameplay basics. Gameplay is split into 3 basic sections. You have your secret base, which you can upgrade with housing, factories, and even a train station, assuming you have the correct level and resources. It's also here where you will upgrade your turrets and tower to become more formidable in battle. Next, we have the world map. This section is where the bulk of your story quests will take place. As you progress and unlock more of Europe to explore, you'll also find missions where you can send out an envoy to gather Ethereum for the cause. With 3 kinds of missions and eventually 3 envoys, each one is geared towards a mission type, which are military, diplomatic, and spy. Sending the appropriate envoy will grant bonus Ethereum to you. Also on the map screen, you will find areas the cult has taken over outside of the main story, which can be claimed or reclaimed to harvest more resources for the war effort. If you are reclaiming an area, you can select to auto battle in order to skip over the battle sequence. You can also choose to replay any story battle that has been beaten already to try out new configurations and gain a small amount of experience and gold. Additionally, the map contains factories which, when reclaimed, allow certain parts to be bought which can be used to upgrade specific turrets. And lastly, we have the battle screen. This is where your aircraft flies over and drops the titular tower into the ground in a Gundam-esque launch sequence. Once your sword-like tower has plunged into the earth, it opens up to reveal your turrets, which will automatically fire at the approaching cult army until one of you are destroyed. Simple enough. The object is to defeat the enemy before you are destroyed. Overwhelming firepower will do the trick for the most part, but where the strategy really comes into play is with the turrets. Each turret model is unique and serves a particular purpose. The starting unit, a basic machine gun turret, is weak but fires quickly. This is perfect for taking down swarms of unarmored infantry or small aircraft, but against bulkier armored units, you'll find a lot of bullets are deflected. But for this, you have the heavy cannons, slower than the machine gun, but more powerful and with a splash effect on the shells. The trade-off here, other than the obvious speed issue, is that the heavy cannon cannot target aerial units at all, so if the enemy sends in 2 heavily armored ground units, and 10 small aircraft, you'll need both types of turret to effectively deal with them. The same goes for the other turret types, such as shock-firing Tesla cannon, told you I'd circle back on that, and the saw blade shooter, among others. Further adding to this are the unique turrets, which can be won from challenge battles themed around the turret you stand to win, and acting as a tutorial on their specific uses, such as the shotgun turret Anger or the aircraft-only Zenith. All turrets can also be upgraded back at the home base and can even be turned into diverging stronger versions, such as the machine gun, splitting into the stronger but slower Hornet type or the faster but weaker Locust model. In between these upgrades there are also options to improve your turret that modify the strength so you can focus on building the turret you want for the situation you need it for. Additionally, all non-unique turrets can also be dismantled if you require the space or just want to start again with a different build. Each turret also has 2 meters during battle, an ammo count and a steam meter. The ammo count is fairly self-explanatory. Your turret will fire bullets until it runs out and then will go into reload mode. While reloading, the turret is essentially useless, but the process can be sped up by moving the turret to the middle of the tower. You can also preemptively move the turret into the middle to refill the ammo before it's completely exhausted. Moving the turrets is a major part of the strategy in battle. When you need a particular type of turret to deal with an enemy on the right side, but you haven't placed it on the left, just slide out the one you're not using, slide the other one across as needed. Later, it can also be used to avoid certain boss and enemy attacks that stun your turrets, and sliding turrets can also come in handy when some turrets are reloading, or when one has a special ready that you can use on the other side, and that is where the steam meter comes in. The steam power is built up by the turret striking enemies, and once enough steam has been built up, indicated by the turret's glowing blue, you can fire off a special attack, which again changes between turret types, generally being a stronger version of their standard attack, which you can manually target for maximum efficiency. But if you think that's it for specials, you're very mistaken. The tower itself also has a special in the form of a devastating eye laser that can be aimed manually. Charges for the special can be bought before battle, or steam can be generated in battle by calling enemy waves early if you don't need to move your turrets around or reload. There are also destructive super weapons and buffs which can also be purchased before a battle, however there's no way to build charges for them. Each one could heavily turn a fight in your favour though, with a huge rocket strike destroying one side of the field, an EMP blast taking out everything close to the tower on both sides, and a precision missile strike for when you just have to take out a few key enemy units. The buffs include, starting with all turret steam specials powered up, a way to slow down enemies that get too close to the tower, and an increase in speed and reload time for all turrets. Knowing when to unleash these abilities will get you far, and can save you in otherwise dire situations. The control scheme of the game is elegantly simple, with the mouse being able to control everything and a few keyboard shortcuts to assist if required. Overall impression. Overall, Steampunk Tower 2 both looks and feels like a mobile game, but I don't mean that as an insult. It takes the best parts of mobile gaming, being simple yet complex and very addictive, and removes the bad aspects. No random luck gachas or loot boxes and in-game purchases, and the times for things in-game are short enough that you won't even have to worry about them. There are always things you can do to kill time before your train arrives or your money comes in. Overall, this is a highly impressive game, and I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching, ciao for now.